Welcome to Bacon Creek Back Porch, November edition. This is Kay Scott. She'll be speaking.
January is a two-sided coin. Toss it, then slap your sweet ass with the nearest tambourine and dance for your life. As Ayla, a friend of mine, once said, make your good day. Anything I write is a poem, is a love song, is a cry for love, is some unbearable thing, is a well overflowing, is the ocean, is all rivers, is a well. Let the well spring eternal within me. Anything I write is a fountain of feeling, is a poem, is a well overflowing, is love everlasting, is grief without measure, is an excess of pleasure, is for you, is for someone special, is for the world, is the river, the sea, the road back to me. What I write is a ribbon, a road to the future beginning with birth. A ribbon of road, meandering and dense and dead ahead, every turn marked with a memory. Shh. It's all right, now is night, we dream the day, remember? Night is the way we dream the day, remember? Now it's all right to dream through the night, shh, remember? Remember the window we used for adventure? Remember the stairway we used for escape? Remember the treehouse in summer's backyard? Remember the ribbons on the maypole in spring? Remember the promise that each day would bring? Dream away, dream day. From one to another, from mother to mother to mother, in a grove of blueberries by the sea, I danced the day, tripping many mothers off my tongue. They hoarded their gold around me till I blazed blue, growing luscious in the light, growing luscious in the light. By winter's light in my window, I remember summer. First to the cemetery to honor ancestors, then to the swollen hilltop, to see the four corners of the world. As far as I can see, I see earth and sky and all but China, you tell me. And the round-faced barn swallow, unblinking as an oriental in its gaze. Dinner out of doors, scent of food and flowers, talk and laughter, and later sleep. A windmill whirred wide against the open sky. It said, remember, remember. Remember days gone by. I do. And I remember you. I remember how loud and laughing we slid through summer on the farm full of the berries. We were carefree and crawled through antique autos, driving madly in our minds, utterly intent on fantastical adventures in faraway places that sprout best in safety. At day's end, we collapsed in heaps and slept sound in your safe lap, doing our dream work, the sacred task of nighttime in childhood. Sometimes I think I knew as much then as I know now. The Midwest morning will be clear as I read. A few years ago, I attended the annual potluck luncheon for mothers and daughters sponsored by the Ladies Auxiliary in my hometown. This happens every year around the holidays. The auxiliary provides soups, hot dogs, taverns, condiments, and the guests bring salads. It's a festive event, well attended by the women of the town, providing, as it does, an opportunity to catch up on the news. In the line, I helped myself to a tavern with mustard and onion, passed on the vegetable soup with hamburger and the chicken noodle soup, then surveyed the collection of salads, several jellos, one or two macaroni dishes, the broccoli with bacon and raisins, the oriental coleslaw, and settled at last on some cream-colored fluff with fruit in it. I joined my sister-in-law and her friends at a long table covered with white paper. After I tied into the tavern, I decided to sample a fruit salad. I bit into what I thought was a clump of raisins or possibly dates, only to discover a piece of Snickers candy bar. Ew! I exclaimed as I spat the candy bar into my napkin. Somebody dropped a piece of candy into the salad. Oh no, that's Snicker salad. The woman to my right was nonchalant and smug as she jumped in with that piece of information. I couldn't think of a thing to say. Since then, I've encountered this phenomenon in many settings, and not the least at family gatherings. One holiday dinner remains a vivid memory. Several of us were seated around the table, laden with perfectly baked, cooked, warmed, and presented Midwest holiday fare, when our hostess made the following remark to my nephew. You haven't eaten any of the Snicker salad. I thought you liked Snicker salad. I do, I said carefully, thoughtfully, between bites of perfectly baked ham and mashed potatoes and gravy. Just not in the middle of a meal. Maybe later. And students in my class have demonstrated the making of this treat, and it turns out there are more versions of it than I would have thought. The most recent one comes to mind: Granny Smith apples, diced bite-sized and laced with carefully chopped pieces of Snickers. I can't just now remember how the salad is dressed. It doesn't matter, the basics are there. Midwest warning, it's not a candy bar, it's a salad staple. So I made the potato salad for the picnic. Big ass family picnic celebrating somebody's graduation, 2 or 3 birthdays, you get the picture. Gotta be careful about these gatherings though, people are funny, people are fussy, and mostly people are related. Okay, so I made the potato salad. Turns out it was popular. Most everybody liked it, ate a lot of it. What the hell, I made a lot of it, so this was all to the good. The usual suspects were also being served. Calico beans, 5-layer salad, some rhubarb cake, pork loin, hot dogs, chips, cookies. Again, you get the picture. So later, we're talking, some of us, and somebody asked me about the potato salad. So I started telling them how I made it. Little vinegar, little brown sugar, dissolve it in the vinegar, pour it over the potatoes after they're cooked and cubed and before you put on the dressing. What I do not tell them, because nobody likes it, is that I put some plain, low-fat, unsweetened yogurt in the dressing. You know, so it wouldn't raise the cholesterol of everybody who eats this stuff. People in the Midwest think all yogurt has sugar in it or artificial sweetener. A couple of years ago, I bought some so-called plain yogurt. Turns out it was sweet, kind of vanilla flavored, but sweet. Gross. So I investigated. Turns out everybody in the Midwest thinks yogurt has to be sweet and you can't possibly use it on a baked potato or make a salad dressing or, well, you know, any of the 1,001 uses that the rest of the damn world makes of plain old yogurt. Not artificially sweetened. Plain, no sugar. You get the picture, right? Anyway, my family is not a yogurt family. Mention yogurt, they're likely to spit out whatever they've got in their mouth at the moment, right on the table. Like this one time, I brought some fruit to some family thing or another, and I made some yogurt dressing to go with it, like civilized people too. One of my brothers asks me when he tastes the dressing, "What the hell is this?" "Yogurt," I said. "Yogurt with some ginger and plum juice." "Good, huh?" But he was already at the sink, spitting out the mouthful of fruit with the yogurt and ginger dressing. Damn lucky he chose the sink. Could have just as well spat it on the floor. Get the picture? Here's the best part. Everybody else who heard that conversation, who had fruit salad in their mouths, spat it out. They spat the damn salad onto their plates or rushed to the sink and spat it out there or in the wastebasket by the fridge. Midwest warning. Don't say yogurt. In the Midwest, we are largely what Garrison Keillor has said we are, a people reluctant to disturb the status quo, hesitant to argue because, quote, it isn't very nice, and because we're a citizenry who often values personality and pleasant above contention. But sometimes this imperative to make nice is at odds with certain other Midwest imperatives, such as being right or having the last word. For instance, one day, a few weeks ago, I met up with my niece for a nice visit over coffee at one of our trendy coffee shops where the list of available coffee-related beverages is confusing, if not staggering. I told the woman behind the counter I wanted a latte, and she quickly asked, "How many shots?" Being unfamiliar with this term in relation to coffee, I immediately shot back, "Shots? Shots of what?" "Coffee," she replied smugly. "How many shots of coffee?" "One, I guess," I offered while my annoyance took hold. I followed the woman behind the counter who was making the latte in a parallel path on the customer's side. "How many shots do people usually order?" I asked, a bit on the petulant side. "As many as they want," came the frosty reply. "Okay," I said, "and how many is that?" "Really, I wouldn't know. I'm not here to keep track." Still frosty, she went about her business. "Clearly not," I muttered, like a dog got hold of a sock, unwilling to let it go. "I haven't tried one yet," I said. "Fine," she snapped, placing the completed cup of latte on the counter for me. "And where's the cinnamon and nutmeg?" I asked. "Right behind you," came the now really snarky reply. "Help yourself." I tasted the latte, bland, really bland. I placed the cup back on the counter. "I'll have another shot," I tarted. "One?" she smirked. "Yes." And I moved to the turn opinion contrary to nice. And me because, well, she was contentious, and all I wanted was a good cup of coffee. I took the latte, now made with 2 shots, to my chair and joined my niece for a really pleasant, generous half-hour of work on a school project that involved both of us as we ate our toasted bagels and drank our soda and latte, respectively. Next time you come, as we prepared to leave, the same woman who made the latte came to our table to take away our trays. "Next time you come, you'll know how many shots you want," she shot at me, and then immediately turned her back and all but disappeared. She left with such speed. Midwest morning. It's not contention. It's the last word.
Yes.
A bright, cold winter's day. Brilliant sunshine on the snow. The trees are bare, trunks brown, and the stubble fields mottled with earth, snow, dried leaves. I swam today. Today I drive an old highway, and the past flits through the canyons of brain and thought, while I hold the car against the curve and listen to a friend from my childhood rattle on about the road and the beauty of the fields. I'm only half there. I'm half caught up with memories of my mother because we're on her favorite road in the world, which, by the way, is Old Highway 141. We just flew, my mother might say, and her hands made this graceful, energetic, uppish moment that seemed to characterize her when she was excited. I hope wherever she is, she's driving along her favorite road, talking with her sister, her husband, her parents, all of her loved ones, carrying on, laughing as I imagine her now, laughing, talking, living fully.